Okay, so 4Front is the Baltimore Community's teen engagement initiative. Our whole purpose for existing is to really support and elevate and empower Jewish teens in our community. We have 4 pillars. That is the 4 in 4Front, and also we want teens to be on the forefront. Innovate, educate, advocate, and collaborate. All 4 of those things are both in all of our programs and really guide how we do our work. We want teens to be at the forefront of our community. We're a grant-funded initiative. We're so lucky to do the work that we do thanks to generous funding from the Jim Joseph Foundation, as well as locally from the Associated Jewish Federation of Baltimore and the Meyerhoff Family Charitable Fund, and we are housed and managed by the JCC. So you can find us in our offices at the Owings Mills JCC. A lot of our programs take place there, but we really are out about in the community as well. I don't want you to hear about 4Front from me. I want you to hear about 4Front from the teens. So I want to share with you a really amazing video that highlights some of our participants, current and past, and their experiences in the program. So enjoy. Everyone can hear?
Through 4Front, I became a more confident leader,
a change maker,
a better communicator,
an entrepreneur.
Diller Teen Fellows is a year-long program where you have the opportunity to connect with teens from your community as well as teens from around the world.
The Social Innovation Fellowship is an entrepreneurship program for teenagers to teach you how to create a startup business or program based on your Jewish values.
The Peer Leadership Fellows program is an opportunity to connect with other Jewish teens, developing relationships that would be beneficial on both ends.
Through Diller, we had the opportunity to go to Israel, to meet kids from Ashkelon, but also to live in their homes for a week.
My favorite part of the Social Innovation Fellowship was really getting to learn how to create a program from scratch that I still do to this day, and we donate blankets to the homeless community of Baltimore.
I have talked to so many new people and made so many new friends. We went to New York City and we got to meet a lot of amazing entrepreneurs. I've learned my own confidence and my own assertiveness and really developing connections with others.
If I could describe my 4Front experience in one word, it would be empowering.
Connection.
Community.
Dynamic. The Peer Leadership Fellows program has been a fantastic and fun opportunity for a learning experience about communicating with others. It's been really interesting to have a cohort with all these people who express their Judaism in a different way than I do.
Now more than ever, we need teens to come together and just talk and just be together.
I think it is so important because teens have the opportunity to build skills that you will use throughout the rest of your life.
You don't really find many programs that teaches you how to be an entrepreneur while also bringing you closer to your Jewish identity, which is pretty awesome.
All right, how fabulous is that video? Because the teens are fabulous. So that's a little bit about 4Front and what the experience is like in these programs. You've already met Isabel and Brock, who you are going to hear a lot more about. Sophia Varon is also our assistant director who can't be here tonight, but we have a really phenomenal team of Jewish educators who just really love working with young people. And as I said, we're going to learn about actually really 4 of our teen signature programs: the Peer Leadership Fellows Internship, Diller Teen Fellows, Social Innovation Fellowship, and Teen Service Council. These are different cohort-based programs. Some of them are more application-based and some registration-based. You'll learn more about that difference as we talk, but they're cohort-based leadership programs that are going to help teens explore Jewish identity, make Jewish friends, learn how to make a positive change in the world, and develop themselves as Jewish leaders, all through a little bit of a different lens. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the team. I will ask if you have questions, put them in the chat. That's going to kind of be our parking lot. We're going to get to a Q&A at the end where you can ask whatever questions you want about any of the programs, really go into the weeds if you're interested. And that way we can make sure we get to this amazing panel we have coming up, and then we'll do Q&A at the end for as long as you all want to be here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Isabel to share a little bit about Peer Leadership Fellows, or PLF.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, it's great to have you all here. I'm super excited about this program. So Peer Leadership Fellows is a year-long paid internship opportunity, actually. It's based on a Hillel engagement program model where Hillel students take other students to coffee and get to know each other on a more meaningful level. So this program's all about building relationship first connections in the Baltimore Jewish community. So you're going to learn how to be a community builder. You're going to create these meaningful connections through this program with your cohort, but also with your own networks. So you're going to come to realize more about your own personal Jewish identity, but also understanding those of your friends, those of the people in Baltimore, and it'll be a really great opportunity. So the program, just a little bit of more details, kicks off with the Shabbaton at Pearlstone. This is a full weekend activity where you get to know the other peers, you get an intro into what relationship engagement is, and get into like more the nitty gritty of what the workshops will look like. It's a super great immersive Shabbaton experience. And then from there, you'll have monthly workshops that are between 2 and 3 hour long programs on Sunday evenings, primarily at the J, and possibly at other Jewish community establishments or organizations around Baltimore. So at these workshops, we do a lot of kind of hands-on learning and discussion-based programming where you'll communicate with your peers, but also talk about like the actual community building, which part of this internship you're getting paid for this work because you're a representation of Baltimore's Jewish teens. So you will actually be identifying your own personal network, and I'll be guiding you through how to initiate conversations to kind of talk with people in your network, but a more peripheral level, to understand what their Judaism likes, make those meaningful relationships, and you'll establish your own greater Jewish network. And a part of that is also you'll be making these more meaningful friendships, and then you'll be inviting them to go to at least 2 community programs throughout the whole internship. So there'll be a couple of hours outside of these workshops where you'll be doing work each month, but that's why we pay you for this work and this learning opportunity. We'll do some workshops based on mental health, looking into your own and reflecting on your own Jewish identity, but also learning about the greater Baltimore Jewish community, because there's some really great organizations out there that help all of Baltimore build meaningful connections. And then the program has a day-long retreat where we'll have another opportunity for a more immersive experience. And then I'm actually really excited. We're planning this event right now with this year's current cohort, where they will be putting on a program for their parents and other community leaders, where the teens will share out their learnings from these conversations and workshops that they're going through. So it'll be a really great opportunity to kind of figure out your own leadership style and make some more great connections in Baltimore's community. Yeah, and if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them later. Okay, next program.
Thanks, Isabel. So Diller Teen Fellows is an amazing program. It runs from September to September, and it is only for rising 11th graders. It is all about exploring your Jewish identity, connecting to Israel, and becoming an empowered leader to create change in your community. We do this through monthly workshops, usually runs on Sundays, about 4 hours. Plus 3 Shabbatonim, or 3 overnight retreats. You host a fellow from Ashkelon for like the 7 to 10 days before Passover, and it includes a 3-week-long trip to Israel in July. Diller is also a crazy big international organization. So it is 16, Diller works through connecting 16 cities outside of Israel, like Baltimore, to 16 cities inside of Israel. So our partner city is Ashkelon. So it's a big international program, and it is all about developing the next generation of leaders. So when you go to Israel, you get to meet with teams who are doing this program all around the world. All 700 of you get to go to Israel at the same time. Diller is also a competitive program. We are capped at 20 people in the program. Yeah, we'll go over like the interview process and all that later, I think we said, right, Diana? Awesome. I will also put a link in the chat. I recommend checking out the Diller website, as a supplement to the 4Front website. It has a lot of cool photos and videos and information about the program.
Awesome. Thanks, Barack. So this is my other program that I run, and I'm super passionate about the Social Innovation Fellowship. Little tidbit, I was in the first cohort of this program back in 2017 with Diana as my program leader. So I'm really, really passionate about this program, and I've loved leading it this year, and I'm looking forward to doing more incredible things next year. So basically, this program is for 9th and 12th graders. Anyone can apply for this program, and it's from November to April. So it's about a 6-month long program. So it's a little more intense across those months, but you'll hear more, I guess. So basically in the program, you're learning to developing your own entrepreneurial mindset. So you're learning how to be an entrepreneur, which is like starting your own business, but in an innovative and a social impact lens. So we start the year off with, I give you guys, the teens, a couple of challenges of like, and this year we focused on teens' mental health, teens' physical health, and teens' like emotional health. So you use these problems to kind of create an innovative opportunity or business or organization opportunity, and we'll problem solve. So you come in from day one having no ideas, and by the end of the first meeting, you'll have gone through a whole business model creating process. You'll be in a team. This program is about 20 teens in it, and we create 6 groups for your business ventures, and you're paired up actually with a local Baltimore Jewish entrepreneur. This year we have some really awesome mentors. One of them even works and helps strategize with the Taharka Brothers ice cream company, so that's really cool. And there's some other really incredible mentors that I'm looking into for next year. But we're doing this all through a Jewish lens and focusing on Jewish values, as it's a part of our culture to look at ways to give back and have a positive social impact on our community. So we're solving problems through these workshops, and we're going into different parts of creating a business, whether it's creating like your business mission statement, looking into costs, going through customer interviews, doing research on your competitors, and I'll walk you through that whole process. And we also are going to partner with someone else in Baltimore. So we have that a seasoned entrepreneur guiding me as well, which is amazing. The program's going to kick off with a really cool team bonding building day where we're going to explore a innovative Baltimore organization, and then we'll go to the full day long boot camp where you guys will hopefully be picking your teams, and then we'll go through the whole process really quickly. It'll be a super intense day, but that's the only super intense part about the program. And then from there, we'll do about monthly or 2 per month workshops that are between 3 and 4 hours long, where you'll be in your teams. We'll be hopefully going on site to cool organizations, Jewish and non-Jewish across Baltimore that have social impacts. And you'll be diving into the specifics and creating and problem solving to make your business idea. And you'll be meeting with your mentor along the way. And then the program, this is really cool, culminates with a pitch competition. So it's really Shark Tank style, and we're coming up on that in just about over a week, where we bring in a panel of judges, families come, community members come, and each of the 6 teams is actually going to be presenting their business ideas that they've been working over the last 6 months. So it's a really awesome opportunity to practice a lot of your soft skills that'll launch you into your career or college or just being a leader in high school. So we don't have to get that far ahead, but I've really used all these skills to get here in my job, to go through college. And I think everything a part of like public speaking, working on a team, problem solving are amazing things that you'll get out of this program. And if you're really interested, we could talk about you coming to this year's demo day if you want to see how it happens. But feel free to put any questions in the chat. Thank you. Yeah. Brock? Oh my God, wait, I missed the most important part. You go to New York City for a whole weekend. Oh my God. We go to New York City. We went to really cool organizations. We met with the people that designed this awesome Post-it app. We saw the really cool JCC in New York City. We're hopefully going to go to a Broadway show. Yeah, and we met with some really amazing business leaders that have done like ads for Patagonia. This awesome guy's creating a whole media company based on Jewish athletes that we got connected with. So more to come on the New York City trip. That's amazing though. That part's amazing. I can't leave that out.
Thanks, Isabel. Our last of the four main programs is Teen Service Council. Teen Service Council is all about giving back to the community. So the structure of it is monthly workshops, usually on weeknights, where you meet with me for about 2 hours. And what we're going to do through these workshops is we're going to learn about the community, and we're going to plan 4 pop-up community service events. Ones that you might have attended this year already, right? That is things like Muffin Day, our event. We had a Hanukkah event, and we have one more event coming up in June. Teen Service Council is also only open to rising 9th and 10th graders, so it is a perfect program if you have not participated in 4Front yet and you're looking for a lighter commitment. It's a great way to give back to the community and get a sense of what the 4Front programs are.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Isabel and Barack. Sorry, I'm like really slow to find where the unmute button is while I'm screen sharing. The last one, I'm really not going to spend time on this, but I did just want to share because I think it's really exciting to know that this is another experience that 4Front offers, is we run a program called Gesher Teen Board Members, which supports the inclusion of teens on the boards of Jewish organizations around our community, nonprofit organizations from synagogues to other associated agencies. We currently have teens sitting on 10 boards of organizations. We really see this as like a pinnacle leadership opportunity for seniors. So we're going to recruit for this from juniors for next year, seniors later in May and June. But it's just another way that 4Front really prioritizes teen voices and works to make sure that teens have a seat at the table. So maybe it is something when you are a senior you could participate in. Okay. So I want to get to the exciting part. So I am going to go ahead and pass the baton to Eileen Wise, who is a past 4Front parent and an active member of our 4Front Advisory Committee. And she's going to help us moderate a panel with a couple incredible alumni and participants. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to her. And while she's talking, I might be playing with the screen a little bit because I'm going to attempt to spotlight just the teens that are involved in this. So Eileen,
great.
All yours.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Eileen Wise, and I am on the 4Front Advisory Committee, and I love supporting 4Front. Get ready, though, for an inspiring experience hearing directly from the 4Front alums, as well as the 4Front current participants. They're going to share tonight their memories, their highlights, thoughts, and takeaways. We want to thank all of our panelists tonight. We're so glad that you're here. And we're going to let the panel begin. So I'm going to ask first for each of them to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into some questions, and the panelists are going to share which question they want to answer, and we'll move along. So Zach, can you start off first? Zach, please.
Yeah, happy to. My name is Zach Pearlstone. I'm a senior at Emory studying finance and real estate. When I participated in 4Front programs, I was involved with the Diller Teen Fellows program, the Peer Leadership Fellows program, and also the STAC program.
Great. And Daniela. Thank you, Zach.
Hi, I'm Daniela. I am a junior at the University of Pittsburgh studying psychology and communications. And when I was involved in 4Front, I was a member of the Diller Teen Fellows program and Peer Leadership Fellows.
Thank you, Daniela. And Dan.
Hi, guys. I'm Daniel Mohammed. I'm a senior at Besafilla. I've been involved with 4Front for 2 years now. I was a Diller Teen Fellow last year, and now I'm the junior counselor this year. And it's been great. I'm also currently interning for 4Front, and it's been awesome.
Great. And to distinguish you from Dan, we're going to call you Daniel tonight, if that's okay. And we'll call my son Dan. So Dan.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Mom. When I was involved in the program, I was a part of the Social Innovation Fellowship, and I also served as a senior representative on the JCC board. Currently, I am a senior at Penn State, majoring in finance.
Thank you, Dan. And Justin.
I'm Justin Lennon. I'm a sophomore at McDonough, and I participated in SIF last year, and I'm currently a member of the Peer Leadership Fellows.
Great. Thank you, Justin. So you guys can actually unmute because you're going to want to answer questions like we talked about, and then you don't have to worry about muting, unmuting. So I'm going to start. So how'd you get involved in 4Front? And just raise your hand. Remember we talked. How did you get involved? Yes, Justin.
So 2 years ago, it was probably in 2022. My brother Jacob actually was applying for Diller, and we kind of just started talking about 4Front a lot in our family because he was really excited about it. And I started looking into it, and the Social Innovation Fellowship program really appealed to me. So that's pretty much how I got involved.
Thank you, Justin. Anybody else want to talk about how they got involved in 4Front? Dan?
For me, it was more, I think that I wanted to stay connected to my Jewish roots, going to Gilman for high school, obviously, not a huge Jewish population. And I had some friends who were in Social Innovation Fellowship. And for me, it was sort of that ability to continue learning while combining Jewish values with it.
Thank you. Anybody else? I'm going to move on to number 2. So why did you choose the program that you experienced or the one that you're experiencing now? Why did you choose it? And Daniel.
Yeah, for me, Diller was just like on paper, it was just an awesome concept of getting to know other teens and really working together to become more of a leader and just getting to know myself and other teens better from a Jewish perspective. And then there was also the idea of getting these connections all over the world. So like through Diller, I now have a really strong connection with teens in Ashkelon and also all over the world because there's Diller cohorts all over the world. So Argentina, South Africa, Australia. It's really like a huge thing for me just to have these connections.
Thank you, Daniel. Who else would like to share why they chose the program that they're in or that they experienced? Justin?
I chose the Peer Leadership Fellows program because it would like allow me to become a leader in our community by guiding other Jewish teens, like my peers inside and outside of school, to like kind of through their Judaism, and I could help them like figure out maybe if they wanted to do some programs, maybe why they could or couldn't. And it was just a really cool experience, and I really liked being a leader.
Great. So we'll move on to number 3. So what 4Front experience that you had really stands out for you? Daniel?
Yeah, so for me, like I said, as part of Diller, I think an experience that I had in Diller was ISS, which is the Israel Summer Seminar. And it's a 3-week trip to Israel. And I had to say that that was the best 3 weeks of my life. I had so much fun. Every single day, you're doing something new, you're meeting new people. And I just don't think that it's possible to get a better experience than that. Like, even when I look at things that I'll do in the next 5 years, I don't think that I'll have any moments better than that.
Thank you, Daniel. Anybody else that wants to share an experience that stands out for you? Dan?
I was going to say, I really enjoyed the demo day when I was in social innovation. I feel like thinking about my experience in school, there was nothing comparable to, for one, the overall professionalism of being able to sort of explain and debut the businesses that we had spent the X number of months prior creating. And I also just think that as, I guess we were 15 to 17-year-olds, it was definitely a step up in maturity, and being able to sort of have that experience at a younger age absolutely allowed me and pushed me for one, my public speaking ability, and also just understanding sort of the different aspects that go into creating a business that you may not learn in the classroom at school.
Thanks, Dan. And Daniela?
I just wanted to comment on what Daniel had said before about Diller. I unfortunately was in the cohort where we couldn't go to Israel because of COVID, which was quite unfortunate. And then the following year, I had the privilege of being the junior counselor for Diller, and again, couldn't go to Israel because of COVID. However, Diller International did an amazing job at still working to make sure that we all felt connected and somehow got to know other community members from Diller communities internationally in Israel. We still had programs with our Ashkelon partners. We still had programs with our like the other teens in the Baltimore cohort. I still got an opportunity to get to know them very well. So despite the fact that this was during a rough patch, 4Front and Diller International specifically did an amazing job at keeping us connected through all that.
Thank you, Daniela. And Zach.
I would say pinging off that and kind of to echo the sentiments about Diller, it's definitely an amazing program. And kind of even at Emory, I have friends who I actually know from when I did Diller. And I would say even some of my friends now who serve in the IDF, they are still very much like in touch with our friends in Ashkelon, which is our sister cohort. But kind of getting more back to the question, and it's somewhat cliche, I don't think I can kind of pinpoint one experience directly. And I think that's kind of the amazing part is that realistically looking back on it, all of it was that, and being able to reflect with my friends on how we all grew, developed, and the stuff we learned. And that's kind of what's really amazing about the 4Front program.
Thank you, Zach. So how did 4Front prepare you for your next steps in school and in life? Zach?
Yeah, I'm kind of going off that. I think really the diversity of 4Front programs is important for this. Each kind of program gives you different skills, but all of them are really focused on making you a better leader, better at public speaking, learning how to foster and maintain relationships. And for me, that was something very important. I would say because of that, like it really provided me the skills to create my own like math tutoring company. And like from that in college now, I TA for a bunch of different finance courses. And on the side, I also now work for like a national tutoring company. But kind of all in all, it really boils down to that 4Front gives you kind of the skills that you don't get in the classroom in high school or in other activities. It prepares you to really enter the real world and be able to foster and maintain connections and reach out to people. And that's what's really integral about it, because eventually everyone grows up and you need these skills. And it's a really great way to get kind of a springboard and a head start on that.
Great, Zach. Anyone else want to share how the 4Front kind of prepared you for your next step? Yeah, Daniela?
I mean, it's very much what Zach said, and I believe Diana or Isabel said it earlier about these programs give you the opportunity to sort of work on your soft skills, which are extremely important, and I don't feel as much taught. And they give you the opportunity to like workshop them, grow your public speaking skills, your leadership skills, and that's extremely important when it comes to moving into the real world. So I appreciate 4Front for that.
Thank you, Daniela. Okay, so think about this. So think about your memories of your different experiences and which one actually like lives with you today? Like you'll never forget it. Justin.
Like Dan, mine was also our SIF demo day, like the Shark Tank we had. And that was because our group had like a fully functional product. We had a website, we had a store, so we were making protein bars, and we actually had protein bars. And it just lives with me today because it gave me so many skills like public speaking, especially in front of the local leaders. Like we had the guy who founded Charmery was our judge, and that was really cool being able to like speak in front of him, try and convince him why ours was the best. And even though we didn't win, I still learned a lot, like how to connect Jewish values to that. And I loved that. It was incredible.
Great. Thank you, Justin. Anybody else, a memory that kind of just stays with you? All right, so we'll move on to, so what would you tell teens to encourage them to explore the 4Front opportunities programs? What would you tell them to get them to take that step? Dan?
I feel like something that can be kind of easy to forget, obviously, when thinking about educational programs and stuff, is that it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And yes, you're learning, but you're also around a great group of people. You're having a lot of fun experiences. And it is just such an enriching experience between the fun and the educational aspect too. It's not like a chore. Like when you go to, sometimes you're in school and you have to go to a class, you feel like it's like a obligation you don't have to do. This is something you look forward to, and it's something that's actually enjoyable for you. So I think thinking about it in the sense that it's something fun that is also teaching you is like a positive way to think about it.
Thanks, Dan. And Zach.
I'd say just kind of echoing and building off that. It's not something you're going to dread on Sunday going to or something during the week. It's something you're going to be excited to and kind of looking forward to go see your friends and going to meet other teens. And it's kind of all these types of relationships that you can build that otherwise you wouldn't have necessarily created. And it's just such a really kind of foundational thing and something that I look back on and was so important to me.
Great. Daniela, did you raise your hand? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I also think another thing to think about is the fact that there's so much diversity within these programs. So there's really something for everyone. In addition, of course, to the fact that they're just fun. You get to know so many different people that you wouldn't know just from going to school or other extracurriculars. It really brings the community together.
Great. Any other comments? So first, we want to say thank you again, panelists. We did our little panel preps before, and it was my pleasure working with all of you, and I do appreciate your time. And if you could just stay on for a little bit, because there might be some questions directly for you guys, and you can answer them for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Eileen, and thank you to Zach, Daniela, Dan, Daniel, and Justin. That was really wonderful hearing from you guys, and you know, I knew all of you guys when you were in high school and in these programs, and it's really amazing to see you and hear you now talk about the experience and where you are all in college. So that was really awesome. Okay, give me one technical moment to remove these spotlights. We are gonna share a little bit about, okay, now what? Now I'm interested. How do I apply? How does this all work? Sorry. Okay, there we go. Is it still speaker on, Justin, or is that just me? No, okay. Okay, let me put back up my screen just to, I think, Isabel, who was gonna share? One of my team members.
I got it.
Isabel is going to share about how to apply and the application processes for each of the different programs because it's a little bit different and I don't want to confuse you. And then we will open it up to Q&A again for any of the 4Front staff or any of the alum or participants if you have a direct question for them. So we won't keep you too much longer.
Yeah. So the main thing is the application for all the programs is one form. So you can go in there, you'll put in all your demographic, like logistical information, and then you'll select which programs you're interested. And based on that, a couple of different questions and possibly selecting an interview time will pop up.
I'm sorry, the date on this slide is wrong. I apologize. It didn't get updated. It does not close April 16th. It closes May 1st.
Yeah, so you have plenty of time to apply and it'll be great. So PLF is a program that you'll apply to, and since it's a paid internship, you will have an interview with myself and 2 board members from the 4Front board, and this will just be to figure out how you work, if this program is a good fit for you, make sure you're up to the challenge, because it will be a couple of hours of work outside of the program. But you'll simply answer a couple of questions about who you are so we get a feel for you, and then we'll have a couple of questions to get to know you a little bit better. This will just be a 30-minute interview at the Owings Mills JCC, and you'll get to select the time on the form. Diller is a bit more of a multi-step process with Brock. You'll fill out the application. There's a lot of kind of more logistic stuff since it's such a international program, and you'll have to have 2 references. It's super easy to ask someone and send the link along for them to fill out. There will be an individual interview with Brock Stockler and a member of the JCC of the 4Front board. That's a 30-minute conversation where he'll ask you questions, get to know you, and then there will also be a follow-up group interview where you will meet with a group of other Diller applicants. And there will Brock and I believe 2 4Front board members and Sophia Varon, who's also a part of the Diller process. So that is just 2 times you would come to the JCC to have a conversation or participate in the group activity. It's low pressure, but it's good to understand how you present yourself, and it'll be a great opportunity for Brock to get to know you and how the program would be for you. And then social innovation is awesome. It does have a cap of likely 20 students just because of the teams and the mentors and everything, but you'll apply online, and then it's more of a one-on-one consultation with me just to make sure the program's a good fit for you. You're open to working on a team. You're open to learning these new skills, but it will just be me and you talking about why you're interested in this program. So it's a little bit more low key, less pressure. And then Teen Service Council, you just fill out the application online, and then Brock will be in touch with you about selection, but it's a little more fluid because it's a really good just opportunity to get your foot in the door with 4Front. So all of this application stuff needs to be in by May 1st. Don't worry, we'll send you some reminders to finish it. And then in May is when these interviews will happen. And when you're in the form, it'll be clear what times you need to select. And then all of the selection and information should say first week of June 2024. But yes, that first week. So you will go into the summer with not a care in the world and knowing what you're going to do with us next year. And you'll also get a sample of next year's calendar. So you can put it on your calendar and be all set to go, and just be prepared to dive in, and it'll be great. And we're also can definitely answer more questions about this. And if there's one of the interview times doesn't work, you'll email us and we'll figure it out.
And this is me. One other plug before we go into Q&A. So 4Front, we don't just do engagement with Jewish teens. We really believe that a very important puzzle piece in supporting Jewish teens is supporting the adults who care about them, and one of those groups being parents of teens. So we have a whole platform called Parenting Unpacked. So we hope to share with you upcoming opportunities for parents to connect with other parents of teens and do some learning. And we actually have one upcoming workshop session in May. We're bringing in Mandy Heller-Adler. She's the founder and CEO of International College Counselors, an international college counseling organization. And she is running this session called College Admissions for the Jewish Soul. It's all about the really search, selection, and application process for particularly Jewish students in a post-October 7th world. So looking at from how did different universities handle things since October 7th, how do you frame your Jewish leadership experience or Israel travel in your application and maybe in your essay, things like that. She's really amazing and really knowledgeable. So we're going to be bringing her into the community on May 16th. So it's open to parents and teens, but parents can come without their teens too. Really geared towards probably 10th and 11th graders, but really anyone who's interested in this topic. So we'll follow up with information, but wanted to plug that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. Please let us know. You can either put them in the chat or you can unmute if you have any questions or anything you want us to go into further detail on.
So Diana, can we ask first if they have any questions for any of our alums, and then they could head off if there are no questions for the alums?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Any questions for the alums?
I just want to say congratulations to those who are seniors. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Crazy.
You're welcome.
Well, alums, thanks so much. I really appreciate all your effort and for you guys being here tonight.
Yeah, Justin, Zach, Daniel, Dan, and Daniela, who I know had to hop off. Thank you guys. We're so appreciative. Enjoy the rest of your nights.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too.
Bye,
Thank you
bye
for
Mom.
having
Bye,
you.
everybody else.
I think it's so wonderful hearing from them, especially now, right? Like 4 or 5 years really
Yeah,
reflecting
so
back.
it stays with them. It's great.
No questions.
I'll ask a quick question if you don't mind. First of all of these programs sound so amazing, and I really loved hearing from the panel and the experience that they've carried with them through their lives. I know that some of the programs are limited to the membership. So my question for you is, like, how many do you usually have to turn students away from being involved in 4Front? Like, what is, like, how big is the application pool that I would need to be or not be concerned for my, I mean, I'm not really concerned, but just sort of thinking ahead, because he's really interested and excited to jump into some of this. So
Can I ask a follow-up question? What grade is he in currently?
he is going, he'll be in 11th grade next year. So he's finishing his 10th grade year.
Awesome. So I'll answer broadly, and then if Brock or Isabel want to add to it. So programs, the ideal number of these programs is usually 20 teens. I will say historically, the only program that has really been competitive to the point that we have to, unfortunately, and it breaks our heart, but turn teens away, is Diller Teen Fellows. That's like really one of the most prestigious leadership programs, and we can only take 20, like, by Diller rules. We cannot go over 20, and we tend to get the most applicants for that program, so that does become the most competitive program. The other ones, I don't think will be very competitive, but we do want to, of course, make sure it's just a good fit. Peer Leadership Fellows will have the interview. That one, since it is a paid internship, teens do have to be accepted. But Social Innovation Fellowship and Teen Service Council, those ones are really registration based. Like, unless we end up in some scenario, I mean, this is like the greatest problem to have.
Unless everyone wants to hang out with me
where
next
we have
year.
like 30 applicants. Who knows? Maybe we'll get 2 cohorts together. I don't know. We really don't want to turn anyone away from that.
Yeah, I'll also say, I think I know a lot of teens who are applying to Diller are also as their first choice, but that doesn't mean that maybe they'd be a good fit for PLF or SIF in the long run. I don't know if that's helpful.
Right,
Okay.
right, exactly.
So in
Yeah,
other
I hope that
words,
answers your question below. Yeah.
Right. So
Like,
in
we
other
could definitely
words,
talk
if-
about options.
Right. So in other words, if they don't get into the Diller program, you just have like 700 applicants for Diller, and it becomes very competitive, then they would still be able to get into another one of the programs to be involved with.
Right, and we talked about that actually at our advisory council meeting, and we want kids to be in 4Front. So if this is not a fit right now, then we'll help that child or teen find another fit, because once you're involved, you see what happens with the panel. It stays with you forever, and then you could try something else. And so you could end up having 2 or 3 experiences, including that board piece that Diana talked about.
Yeah. And right now, like, we already have some applications in that have put in for, I think Brock was gonna maybe say this, have put in for Diller, SIF, and PLF. So, like, we'll talk to you, like, both of us will talk to you, and then we'll talk as a group about what the best fit is. And I think Diller is always the first choice, I have to say. So we go from there. Yeah.